Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please check it. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Is my voice is clear to all of you guys? Right. All right. Good evening, guys. And check it what we completed in the last session. And we completed tokens, right? Totally. Tokens part we completed there. Then on the basis of the tokens, I'm going to conduct one exam. Maybe on Saturday. Saturday is what there? 31st, right? Okay. Why don't we utilize that day? Or else maybe I must be present for it if I want to conduct the exam there. Okay, no problem. Then be ready for it up to tokens. We want to have some examination there, multiple choices questions, then topic wise exams we are conducting now. So definitely be ready for it. Up to what part there? Up to tokens. Maybe tokens or meanwhile if I complete data types on the base of this also, we are planning for the content. Be ready anyway at any cost. Try to study regularly and be ready for it. All right, guys. Then what we are discussing there? Actually, we are discussing about data types. Guys, I'm asking some few questions to you. Try to answer for it. Tell me, guys. Overall, how many types of data types are available initially? Two types of data types. What are the two types there? Primitive data types and user-defined data types. Again, primitive data types are divided into how many types now? Two types. What are the two types there? Numeric data types, non-numeric data types. Again, numeric data types are divided into how many types? Two types. So what are the two types of numeric data types now? One is what there? Integral data types, and second one is what there? Non-integral data types. Under integral data types, what data types are available? Byte, short, int, long. Only these data types. Under non-integral data types, how many? What are the data types are available? Float and double. Under non-numeric data types, what data types are available? Char and boolean. Char and boolean. These types are existed here. That's okay, fine. Then after that, can you tell me examples for user-defined data types? No. All arrays, all classes, all interfaces, and abstract classes. These are like commander what there. Secondary data types are user-defined data types. These are the points we understood. Tell me, what is the memory allocation for each and every data type? For byte, how much memory is allocated? Byte, 1 byte. For short, 2 bytes. For int, 4 bytes. Long, float, double. Next, character, boolean, 1 bit, not byte, 1 bit. Right, sir. Next one after that. So, what is the memory size for the user-defined data types? No, memory size for the user-defined data type. No fixed memory allocation for user-defined data types. The sizes, memory sizes for the user-defined data types is totally depending on how much data, volume of data which we provided. On the basis of that only, that memory sizes are going to be provided. This is one point. Next one is default values are available, right? For each and every data type, some default values are available. Tell me, what is the default value for integral data types? No, 0. 0 is a default data type. Default values for the integral data types. For long, what is the default value? 0, L. The suffix value should be what there? L. Okay, fine. For a float, 0.0 F. For a double, 0.0 or 0.0 D. D might be the suffix. Next one is for Boolean, false. For boolean, false. For character, single space. Nice. What are the advantages of the data types actually? We can find the memory sizes for the data types for the data, and second one is what there we can define range values for the variables on the basis of the data types. No, right, sir. To find the range values for each and every data types, what is the formula we are able to use there? Come on, I given one formula: minus 2 power n minus 1 to 2 power n minus 1 minus 1. For byte, what is the value here? Minus 128 to 2 plus 127. Right, sir. Now tell me, after that, before that, how many how many types of programming languages are available as per the data types? No, two types. What are the two types here? Typed programming languages, typeless programming languages. Right, sir. Any example for typeless programming languages? No. Assembly language, all first generation programming languages. Right. Any okay. Again, how many types of typed programming languages are available? Two types of typed programming languages. What are the two types of typed programming languages? No, static programming languages and statically typed programming languages and dynamically programming languages. When I'm giving wrong information, you are giving chorus only. Uh, right, sir. So statically typed and dynamically typed. What is the difference between statically typed and dynamically typed? Statically, in case of statically typed programming languages, type must be provided first, then only data. Before confirming the data, before representing data, first its type must be confirmed. That is what they're statically typed programming languages. Can you tell me some examples for statically typed programming languages? C, C++, Java. Right. What is dynamically typed programming language? Calculating type on the basis of the data. First data, then a type. First data representation, then a type representation. That is a dynamically typed programming language. Any example for dynamically typed programming language? Python. Python is the best example for what there? Dynamically typed programming language. Sir, got it or not? All right, sir. Maybe in the while discussing about the concepts there in Java, in one or two situations I may talk about Python also. I should not get any confusion. Why? Because that is just basic awareness point of view. I may talk about Python related stuff also in one or two situations. I don't have any problem. I can teach even Python also there. Already I took number of batches there, but I don't have any intention to take the total Python classes for you. But in the comparison, in one or two situations, whenever we are having Java features there, where I may talk about what there Python features also, automatically that comparison will come. Don't get any confusion and don't think anything bad about it. Yes, sir. Got it or not? Right. Now let's move on to the next point here. After that, whatever the formula here we have taken to find min value and max value for each and every data type now, that is minus 2 power n minus 1 to 2 power n minus 1 minus 1, whatever the formula here we have taken. Now observe carefully, the above formula is applicable for integral data types only. Is applicable for what there integral data types only, not for all the remaining data types. Whatever the formula here I given there, minus 2 power n minus 1 to 2 power n minus 1 minus 1, where n is the number of bits. Whatever the formula here we have taken, that is applicable for only what they know, for only integral data types, byte, short, int, long. Even the long also is somewhat difficult to find. Up to integer, okay. By taking some time, we can calculate it. Understand my point or not? All right, sir. Then it is not applicable for what they all the remaining data types. No, like a float, double, boolean, like what their care. No, this kind of formula is not applicable there. But still, min value and max values are available for these data types also. Still, min value and max values are available even for these data types also, numeric data types especially. For numeric data types, min value and max values are available. We need to find that min value and max value. Right. For that purpose, I'm giving one point to you. Now try to understand it clearly. All of you guys observe carefully. To find, to get min value and max value of each and every to get min value and max value of each and every data type Java has provided. Instead of saying this get, I want to say to represent min value and max value of each and every data type, Java has provided the following constant variables. In other words, okay, the following constant variables from all the wrapper classes. From all the wrapper classes. What are these constant variables here? We have to understand clearly. That constant variables I'm telling to you, one is what there, min value. One constant variable. Next one is what there, max value. Min underscore value and max underscore value. These two constant variables are provided. Yes, all of you are getting clarity on this. Min value and max value. These two constant variables are provided. Yes, sir. All of you are getting clarity on this or not? Right, fine. Next one is after that, after understanding this, I don't know, sir, what is this wrapper class actually? You are saying that from all the wrapper classes, these constant variables are available. You said to me like that. But I don't know what is this wrapper class actually. Can you give some information about this wrapper class? Yes, definitely. Try to understand this point here. Guys, now tell me in Java, how many number of wrapper class, sorry, how many number of primitive data types are available? 8 number of primitive data types are available. Of course, I've given some classification. Altogether, 8 number of primitive data types in Java. What are the 8 number of primitive data types in Java? Byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, character. These are the 8 number of primitive data types. I'm going to ask this question frequently in the future. 8 number of primitive data types are available. Understand my point now? For each and every primitive data type, there is a class representation in Java. For each and every primitive data type, there is a class representation in Java. A separate class is provided for each and every primitive data type in Java. That the classes representation of the primitive data type, classes representation of the primitive data type is called as a wrapper class. That is what there, a wrapper class. Now I'm telling there, Java has provided a separate class representation for each and every primitive data type. Java has provided a separate class representation for each and every primitive data type, where the class representation, where the class which is representing the primitive data type is called wrapper classes. Wrapper classes, all the classes. For each and every primitive data type, there is a class representation. That class representation for each and every primitive data type is called as what there? Wrapper class. All of you guys observe carefully where these wrapper class are available, then how they are available. No, just I want to give some information to you. Now try to understand it clearly. First of all, like what there, byte. Understand it clearly. For this byte, there is a wrapper class java.lang.byte. Here B is capital or not? Moreover, this byte is available in a package name java.lang or not? So this is a class. This is what their wrapper class. Right, sir. But here byte is available. This is a keyword. Am I right or not? That means this is what their a primitive data type. Right, sir. Similarly, short is existed here. For this is short, we can write like what there java.lang.short. Short is a class name. Next one is int is a data type. No, for this int we are able to provide like what there java.lang.integer, not int. The wrapper class name is what there? Integer. Java.lang.integer. For the data type is what there? Int. Similarly, for long, there is a wrapper class. There is a wrapper class that is what there? Java.lang.long. Right, L is a capital in the wrapper class. Next one is what there? Float. For float to data type, there is a wrapper class java.lang.float. F is a capital. Next one is a double. For this double, there is a wrapper class like what there? Java.lang.double. Observe carefully. Next one is for char data type is available. For this char data type, there is a wrapper class java.lang.character, not char. Wrapper class name is what there? Character, not char. Alright, sir. Then after that, after completion of this, now get boolean. Boolean. Now it will be like what I'm telling there. Java.lang.boolean. Alright, so like this. For each and every primitive data type, there is a separate wrapper class or not? At all the wrapper classes, except boolean, except boolean, min value, max value constants are available. By using these constants, we are able to get a minimum value and a maximum value for the respective data type. That means range values we can get. Min value in the range and max value in the range we are able to get for each and every data type by using these constants. By using what there? These constants. Alright, sir. Now get except what class there? Boolean. But one more time I'm telling to you, there is no meaning to calculate min value and max value for character and boolean. If it is a numeric type, no, there we can identify min value and max value. Say for example, character is available. What is the min value and max value for characters? So now tell me. ABCDs we are able to represent. Do you think about it? Small a is a min value and small z is a max value? No, no, we don't have any such type of weightages for the characters. No. In the same way, Boolean values are what they are true and false. Where what is min value and what is max value? Do you have any classification like this? Will you decide anything like what min value and max value over true and false values? No, is it possible? No, definitely it is not possible then. So for character and boolean, there is no concept like what there min value and max value. But min value, max value constants are available up to character. They are showing the different answers. The space is a min value and question mark is a max value. It is showing that actually. But there is no meaning for different symbols. It is showing. It means that it is not supporting these two constants. But still, constants are available inside the character. Min value, max value constants are available inside the character, but they are showing space is a min value, question mark is a max value. That means that unrecognized symbols. We can understand it clearly. In the case of Boolean, no chances to define what their min value and a max value. In the case of Boolean, the constants are not existed. If we call this min value and max value and Boolean, there we are able to get compilation error, cannot find the symbol min value and max value from the class Boolean. Like this, we are able to get some compilation errors. All of you are getting clarity on this? No? Right. So now I will show this point here, but before that, understand one small note here. I'm telling there min underscore value, max underscore value constants are available in almost all the wrapper classes except Boolean. Except Boolean. Then one more point I'm telling there. These constants exist in a character class, but they are providing, they're able to provide space is a min value and a question mark is a max value. Don't worry, I'll show in programmatically. Right, sir. Now here, what's the point I'm telling you? These constants exist in the character class, but they're able to provide space is min val and question mark is what their max value. But it means that unrecognized symbols. In the case of characters, no concept like min value and max value, but it has to show some values there. That's why space and question mark it is showing what there min value and max value. Leave this one. Now let me show one small program here to show all these points here. Simple program I want to take. Now try to understand all of you guys. Now here, edit plus I have taken file new Java. Right, now try to understand it. Class test, public static void main, string array args. Then inside this, what we are able to write there, system.out.println of system.out.println of, first of all, I want to display min value and max value. Please remember one point now. Min value and max value are constant variables or not? Constant variables in the sense static variables. They are nothing but what? They're public static final variables. Static variables. In Java, there is a point. We can access static variables by using class name. In Java, we can access static variables by using what? Their class name. Directly, we can use class name to access static variables. So I can call this min value and max value variables by using wrapper class names directly. Let's see this one. First of all, here I want to go for what there? Byte dot min value. Then I want to provide some space. Arrow I want to provide there for the sake of separating both min value and max value. I want to provide one space also here clearly. Plus here, what I have to show there? Byte dot max value. Right, so now let me copy this. I want to provide almost all the cases now. All right, now let me change the data types now. In place of this byte, now I want to write like what there? Short. Now here also be, I want to write like what there? Short. Next one after that, in place of byte integer, not int. Please remember this. Now this also be like what there? Integer. Next one, after completion of this, next one is like what there? After this integer, long. Now here, in place of this byte, what next one here? Long. You may have one question to me. Sir, this byte, short, integer, long, and all these things are available in java.lang package. Java.lang package. But we are not using any fully qualified name. Directly, we are using class names now. Then how it is possible? Answer is very clear. Java.lang is a default package in every Java file. By default, it is imported. Java.lang package is by default imported. No need to import that separately. No need to use fully qualified name also. Directly, we can use what there? Class names directly. Right, so now then after that, what we are able to specify there? Float. Here also we are able to specify what there? Float. Next one is after this float, we are able to provide like what there? Double. Here also we are able to specify what there? Double. Next one is after this double. Here we have to go for like what there? What next one you know? Character. Now here also we have to specify like what there? Character. Next one is after that. Boolean. Definitely we are able to get compilation error, guys. Boolean dot min value, Boolean dot max value. Whenever we are calling there definitely we are able to get what there? Compilation error. Let us see this what compilation error here we are getting now. Right now, let me check this. I want to save this D drive. Right, so now here we have to go for Java 6. Then where we have to provide test.java. Test.java that I'm providing now. Alright, so now let me compile and execute this program. Let me open command prompt. Open command prompt. cd Java 6 Java C space test.java. Now here we are getting two compilation errors. Please read these compilation errors now. What we are getting? Cannot find symbol. What is that symbol, sir? Min value. In which class? No? Boolean class. That means min value, that symbol is not available or not? That constant is not available in a Boolean class or not? Similarly, cannot find the symbol max value in which class? No? Boolean. That means these two things are not available in Boolean class or not? That I said to you clearly. There is no meaning of calculating min value and max value over the Boolean variables. Boolean data type now. There is no meaning for it. It is a meaningless to calculate min value and max value. That's why here what I have to do there, I want to comment this. I want to comment this. Not required. Just I commented this. Next one is after that. After understanding this particular one, let me compare and execute this. There we are able to get some values now. Observe carefully. Java C space test.java. Compiled successfully Java space test. Previously I said to you, this is byte, short, int, this is for long. This is the value we are expecting. Yesterday I asked you, try to calculate min value and max value for long. People have started to calculate that values now. This is a value here we have to get. But how much time it will take? No. Minimum half an hour we are able to take to calculate this one. But we may not have patience level up to that. Maybe one time, two time, three time, okay. Fourth time we may think about it. Then by the time we are going to understand, it is not possible for us now. So this is a value here I'm getting here. Now try to observe carefully. Float value, min value, and exponential form we are getting. Exponential form we are getting min values and max values for what there? Float and double. That's okay, fine. And Java is going to display the float and double too much large values in the form of exponential forms only. There we are able to get some things now. Understand my point here? But this rule is not applicable for what there? Float and double. Get my point or not? Up to integral data types it able to provide, but for float and double it is not applicable effectively. Leave this one. Observe carefully here what we are getting, sir. And this is what there? This first space, and this is question mark here. Understand my point here? Space is a min value and question mark is what there? Max value. Is there any meaning for these two things? No. It means that that character is telling that constants are available, but no specific values for them. Unrecognized symbols here we are providing. Space is a min value, question mark is a max value. What is the meaning of it? So it is not defined in this way. You can understand it now. These two are like what they're not available, but constants are available. The constants related data here we have to display. Right, guys. Now this is what exactly the meaning of like what they're providing min value and max value for each and every data type. Then that respective content here we provided. That's okay, guys. Now this is like what their output we provided here. Then first we have to prepare the program. Already this program we are getting. All right. Guys, again I'm asking to you, all of you are using this document. All of you are accessing this document, watching this content. This is exclusively for the sake of you. Please recognize this. So even if you are not watching this document there, if you are not study the content from this document, it's a waste of time what I am putting inside the class. Without giving this document, I can explain the content. Maybe a bit of time I'm able to save. Observe carefully. So this entire content is for the sake of you. Try to utilize this opportunity. Right, sir. Live class notes is very, very important. What you are understanding that everything I'm trying to put in the form of the document, you must utilize it. Okay, fine. Leave this one. So this is a clear-cut information about our what there, this particular program here. Understand it, no? Next one is after that, after completion of this particular part here, what next one is existed here? Observe carefully. Then after that, okay, then we can take the program, no problem. So by this, total data types topic is completed. Only data types. What data types are available? All the concepts here we completed. Yes, sir. Got it or not? Byte, short, int, long. These four are come under integral data type or not? For this integral data type, that the head data type is what there? Integer data type. Head data type is what there? Integer data type. Please recognize this. For the remaining data types, no, we don't have any specific head values, head data type, no. But for integral data types, no, integer is what their head data type. Understand this, what I'm telling you. Right, sir. Where we are able to use all these values, no. Maybe people might be asked this question there. Just simple examples I'm telling you, but no specification like this. Only some manipulated examples I'm telling to you. Wherever we want to represent that integral values, like what there, say for example, user age I want to represent integer value, integral value we have to provide. Employee not salary. Say for example, I want to calculate some amount of value. There we are going to use what there integral values. Say for example, especially mobile number I want to represent, guys. Mobile number I want to represent. 10-digit mobile number here I want to represent. Integer scope may not be sufficient for it. Maybe 12-digit number we have to specify. 10 digits are what their actual mobile number, and the first 2 digits are country codes that I want to represent there. Where integer data type is not sufficient, there we have to go for what their long type only. Yes, sir. Are able to follow or not? There we must go for what their long data type only. So where if you want to represent that mobile numbers kind of data, there we have to go for what their long data type or normal data like what their user age value or maybe 100 employees. I want to represent their 100 is a number. If you want to represent by default, you may go for what their integer data type. One more time, I'm telling to you, wherever we want to represent the integral data, 99% of chances we are going to use what their integer only. People are not going to use byte to short. They're available physically, but they're not in use effectively. People are not going to use byte and short. Wherever we want to use byte and short now, automatically people are going to use what their integer only, int only. That is general utilization I'm telling you. Next one I'm telling you, observe carefully. For example, I want to calculate some temperature value I want to get. Temperature value I want to calculate. What is the temperature value? No, say for example, now the temperature should be like what there, 98.8, the regular temperature. For example, maybe 99.2. The fever calculation, fever might be if you want to check there. In a thermometer might be we can identify the temperature. We want to represent that the temperature values now. There what value we want to use there, what data type we want to use there, then definitely we have to go for what there, flow to data type only. Sir, got my point or not? Flow data type only here we want to represent that. Next one is, for example, I want to represent my bank balance. Bank balance I want to represent. For example, bank balance in the sense not about my account and your account data. Maybe some billionaires are available. Swiss banks are available where some amounts they want to deposit. Where how much amount they want to deposit there, even that is not in the range of the integer long, not in the form of this long. Next one is not in general that amounts are going to be represented in the form of like what they're either float or double, not in the form of integer. Definitely we are going to use what their integral values as well as like what their dot fraction values, fractional values here we are able to provide dot. Definitely we are going to specify that. So there automatically either we may go for float and what there double. Normal employee salaries are okay. We can represent in the form of float. That is within the range. But bank balance I want to represent. The balance value maybe float may not be sufficient. Float may not be sufficient. And some my point here now. So in that situation, we may go for what are the double values. Double representations there we are going to use. Understand it clearly now. That is another point here. Then apart from this, after this, you know already characters. Only single letter. If you want to represent there we have to go for what there character. Say for example, what are the single values here we are able to specify there. For example, I want to represent gender. Where shortcut forms I want to use M, F. Only one character. Am I right or not? Either M or F. Short names I want to provide. Not even male, not even female. Just M and F. That's it. There we are going to use what there character only. Answer my point here. Not only that. Alright, sir. Then whenever we want to go for some question forms in our maybe applications now. Question forms. What question forms here we are able to represent there? Some questions like what there, where answer should be true or false. There in that scenario we are going to use what there something else. Answer my point now. Alright, sir. Like this here we are able to have all these data types here now. Depending on the situation, automatically we are going to use these data types. No need to have any separate story for each and every data types. No, when the requirements are coming, automatically we are going to use the data types as per the requirement. For that, no need to have any separate study where to use these data types and how to use these data types. No, no. This is a regular practice throughout our Java applications. No to think much about this particular content. Now this one, now totally here what we completed here, data types part is completed here. After completion of this data types, the next topic is like what there, typecasting. Guys, once again I'm asking to you, now tell me how many number of language fundamentals are available? 5. What are the 5 number of language fundamentals now? Tokens, data types, typecasting, Java statements. What next one? Arrays. These are the 5 types are available. Out of this, what we completed here? Tokens we completed. Next one is what there? Data types we completed. Now what we are discussing there now? Typecasting. Right, sir. All of you understand it clearly. Simple definition, guys. Then no need to go for too much complex definition there. What is the meaning of this typecasting? What is the purpose? What is the meaning of this typecasting? Nothing. Answer is very clear. The process of converting data from one data type to another data type. The process of converting data from one data type to another data type is called typecasting. That's it. is called as what there? Typecasting. All right, sir. What is the main advantage of this typecasting? No. What is the main advantage of this typecasting? No. The main advantage of typecasting is flexibility. Flexibility to design applications or to represent data. Flexibility to represent data. Understand my point here? If one type is not possible to convert to other type, no, we don't have any flexibility to represent data in multiple ways. But if it is possible to convert the data from one type to another type, then we can represent our data as per our convenience. I get my point or not? Same data, I want to represent multiple ways now. Then definitely we need to go for what their conversions. If conversions are available, flexibility is available to represent data. If conversions are not available, no flexibility to represent data. That's the point here, what I'm telling you. So observe carefully. The main advantage of typecasting is what their flexibility to represent data. That's okay, fine. This is one point. But how many types of typecastings are available? How many types of typecastings are available and what are their types now? If you observe this point here, there are two types of typecastings. What are the two types of typecastings? No, first one is like what there? Primitive data types of typecasting. First one is what, sir? Primitive data types of typecasting. And the second one is what there? Primitive data types. Primitive data types typecasting. Second one is user defined data types typecasting. Anyway, sir, now first of all, we don't require user defined data types typecasting immediately. I require only primitive data types typecasting. But at least definition here we have to understand what is this user defined data types typecasting here. Definition here we are going to understand. Observe carefully. What is the definition here? No. All right, sir. Again, guys, I'm asking one question to you. Now try to answer for it now. Can you tell me some examples for user defined data types? All arrays. All arrays. Next one is what there? All classes, abstract classes, and interfaces. In general, most of the people are used to remember only primitive data types now. Most of the people are not remembering user-defined data types now. That's why I'm repeating number of times. Right? Even if I say class now, people are asking which data type it is now. Even some people are not believing classes are come under data types now. But actually classes are come under data types only. That data types are what there? What are the data types now? User-defined data types. Observe carefully. The data types are what there? User-defined data types. Okay, sir. Now observe carefully. User-defined data types. User-defined data types typecasting. What's the meaning of this user-defined data type typecasting there? The process of converting data from one user-defined data type to one user-defined data type to another user-defined data type is called what is this one? User-defined data type. User-defined data types typecasting. This is a simple definition here we can understand now. Next, observe carefully. Understand this point is important for us now. Understand it now. To perform user-defined data types typecasting. To perform user-defined data types typecasting, we have to provide to perform user-defined data types typecasting. We have to provide either extends relation or implements a relation between two user-defined data types. That means indirectly what I am telling there, we have to understand if you want to perform user-defined data types typecasting, we must provide either extends in the sense this is nothing but what their inheritance. This is what there either inheritance or implements. What is the meaning of this implements? Actually, implements in the sense like what their polymorphism max. Get my point or not? Either inheritance or polymorphism is required between two user-defined data types. Then only it is possible to perform user-defined data types typecasting. But is it possible to understand inheritance relation between two user-defined data types? No. Is it possible to understand polymorphism here? Is our knowledge is available up to that point? No. Because of that reason, now first of all, tell me where we are going to see this inheritance and polymorphism concepts. No. This inheritance and polymorphism concepts we are going to see in object orientation. Object orientation topic is available there only. We are going to see inheritance and polymorphism, this kind of concepts. Guys, all of you are getting my point or not? So at the last topics of the object orientation, we are going to see inheritance and polymorphism. There we are going to see user-defined data types typecasting. At the language fundamentals, this topic is not required, but at the definition point of view, we have to understand. But that will be covered. That will be covered. When it will be covered, as the last topics of the inheritance and polymorphism, there we are going to cover this content. Yes, sir. All of you are getting my points or not? All right, so now let's understand the next point here. All of you observe carefully, guys. Next one is what there. After that, after understanding this content here, now we have to understand like what there primitive data types, typecasting, primitive data types, primitive data types, typecasting. This we have to understand now. All right, sir. Now definitions are very simple. First of all, tell me what is user-defined data types typecasting? What you are understanding about it, user-defined data types typecasting, the process of converting data from one user-defined data type to another user-defined data type. Then it is what there, user-defined data types typecasting. Got it or not? Similarly, what is the meaning of primitive data types typecasting here? What you are understanding about it? No. What is the meaning of primitive data types typecasting here? What's the point here? We are able to say no. Right. Answer is very clear. Same definition, not more than that. The process of converting data from one primitive data type to another primitive data type. The process of converting data from one primitive data type to another primitive data type is called primitive data types typecasting. Please, all of you answer for my questions now. How many types of type? First of all, tell me what is typecasting? Come on, guys. What is typecasting? Now tell me. The process of converting the data from one data type to another data type. That is called as what there? Typecasting. Nice. How many types of typecastings are available? Two types here. What are the two types of typecastings? No. Primitive data types typecasting, and second one is what there? User defined data types typecasting. Two types of typecastings are existed here. Then what is user defined data type typecasting? No, the process of converting the data from one user defined data type to another user defined data type. That is user defined data type typecasting. Then what is primitive? Okay, if you want to perform user defined data type typecasting, what we required to perform user defined data type typecasting? What we required? We required either extends relation or implements relation between two user defined data types. What is the meaning of extends or implements relationship? No, either inheritance or polymorphism we required. Then only we are able to perform what there, user defined data types typecasting. Got my point or not? Next one, after that, after completion of this particular one here, next one is what there, what is primitive data type typecasting? The process of converting data from one primitive data type to another primitive data type is called primitive data types typecasting. Got it or not? All right, sir. Observe carefully again. There are two types of primitive data types or typecastings. There are two types of primitive data types typecastings. First one is like what there, implicit typecasting, or in other words we can say it is like what there are widening. Both the names are okay, fine, possible. Implicit typecasting or widening. The second one is like what there, explicit typecasting, or we can call it as what there, narrowing. Yes, sir, got my point or not? Widening and what next one again? No, narrowing. Two names are available. Either of the name we can use. Implicit typecasting, widening, explicit typecasting, narrowing. But in general, regular terminology is what there, implicit typecasting and explicit typecasting. But actual meaning is going on with the widening and narrowing only. Okay, later on we'll understand it clearly. Now let's observe this clearly. Implicit typecasting. Implicit typecasting. What is the meaning of this implicit typecasting actually? What you are understanding about implicit typecasting? All of you observe carefully. All right, sir. Everybody understand this clearly. The process of converting data from, listen carefully, implicit typecasting, I'm telling you the process of converting data from lower data type to higher data type. Come on, understand my point here. The process of converting data from lower data type to higher data type is called implicit typecasting. That means lower data type to higher type. Initially small, then when it is converted to next higher, small to higher. Small to higher in the sense widening or not? Understand my point here. In general meaning, widening is what there? Small data type to higher data type. That is what there? Widening. Just we are widening the type. Got my point or not? That's why it is called as what there? Implicit typecasting or widening. Yes, sir. All of you are following or not? Right, sir. This is one point here. Nice. But how, sir, how we are able to perform this implicit typecasting? What we have to do now? What possibilities are available? We need to understand the point here. Observe carefully. To cover all possibilities of implicit typecasting, Java has provided a predefined chart. To cover all possibilities of implicit typecasting, Java has provided a predefined chart. What is the chart? What Java has provided here? Observe carefully. Byte. Next one is a short. Observe carefully. Byte to short, possible. Short to int, possible. Int to long. Long to float. Float to double. Am I right or not? What types here we are providing there? Right, sir. Byte to short, short to int, int to long, long to float, float to double. Don't have any conversions from these type to character and these types to what there? Boolean. No such type of conversions here. But another thing is what there? From double onwards, I'm telling there. But another type of conversion is also be possible. You can understand it now. That is nothing but like what there, what we are able to say there. Observe carefully. Another conversion here we are able to provide. All right, sir. Now this is like what I'm telling to you. Char to int is a possible. What is possible, sir? Char to int is possible. Observe carefully. What exactly the conversions can be provided here? Observe carefully. Byte to short, short to int, int to long, long to float, float to double. Next one is what there? Char to int. These types are possible. Just to cover all possibilities of implicit typecasting, Java has given this chart, predefined chart that is not created by me. The chart was provided by Sun Microsystems to cover all possibilities of the implicit typecasting. Yes, sir. Got my point or not? Tell me, guys. All of you know. Tell me what is the meaning of this primitive data types typecasting? What do you define this now? The process of converting data from one primitive data type to another primitive data type. That is what their primitive data types typecasting. How many types of primitive data types typecastings are available? Two types. What are the two types now? Right, sir. Implicit typecasting, and second one is what there? Explicit typecasting. What is this implicit typecasting? No, the process of converting the data from lower data type to higher data type, lower data type to higher data type. Got it or not? Now here I have a question. What is lower data type and what is higher data type? If I compare byte and short, byte is lower and short is higher, that I go okay. But how can we decide that lower data type and higher data type? One data type is available. How I can decide whether it is a lower data type or higher data type? How it is possible? Definitely on the base of the what is it? Sizes, right? Names are sizes. On the base of the memory sizes now, right? Very good. So, right. Anyway, then your understanding is what there. If any data type is having lower memory size, that means less memory, then it is what there lower data type. If any data type is having what there more memory, that means more size, then it is what there higher data type. Am I right or not? Yes, sir. No response. So lower data type and higher data type in the sense the data type which has less memory, lesser size, that is lower data type. The data type which has more memory or more size, then it is what there higher data type. Am I right or not? Yes, clear? Okay. Just wait a minute of time. In general, everybody might be thinking in this way only, but there is a small change. Understand it, no? All right, sir. Now tell me, the chart was provided by Sun Microsystems, not by me. This is a fixed chart provided by Java, right? Observe carefully. All these are implicit typecastings only, lower to higher only. Now let's come for this one. Byte is how much memory? No, 1 byte. For short, how much memory there? 2 bytes. For integer, how much memory there? 4 bytes. 4 bytes. And for long, how much memory? 8 bytes. For float, how much memory? 4 bytes. For double, how much memory? 8 bytes. That's nice. And for character, how much memory? 2 bytes of memory. Okay, fine. If you think about it, lower to higher in the sense, lower in the sense low size and higher in the sense more size. If you think about it now, just I'm calculating byte to short. Okay, your definition is satisfied. Lower size to higher size. Short to int is also be okay. 2 bytes to 4 bytes. Into to long is also be okay. 4 bytes to 8 bytes. But long to float. Long to float. Long is taking 8 bytes of memory and 4 is float is taking what there 4 bytes of memory, but this is a higher to lower we are getting. Higher to lower in the sense explicit typecasting, not implicit typecasting. But you are saying now this is in implicit typecasting. Moreover, you said to us this is predefined chart that was provided by Java. Understand it what I'm telling there. So lower data type and higher data type, if we decide on the base of the sizes, no, here we are getting problem. Here we are getting problem. This problem nobody is analyzing actually. Nobody is thinking about this problem. Even I'm telling to you, understand clearly. Even in the YouTube also might be all the articles are available. Typecasting in the sense implicit typecasting. They are saying that low size to high size. Then simply they are taking the example is what there byte to int. They are converting. Then simply typecasting is completed there. But nobody will come up to this level long to float. Here we have to answer for it. First of all, understand my problem here. What is the question I have given there? Are you understanding the problem statement? Implicit typecasting, if you believe the statement, low size to high size, then we are saying that this is a predefined chart provided by Sun Microsystems. Now Java, that means Sun Microsystems is saying that long to float is the implicit typecasting only, not explicit typecasting, where sizes point of view variation is available. Now the definition is wrong now. If you say that, or maybe the chart may be wrong. If you think lower data type and higher data type we calculated on the base of the sizes, no, this chart should be wrong. Got my point or not? So there definitely we have to recognize, we have to put concentration on this point here. I'm confirming to you, I'm telling to you clearly, identifying lower data type and higher data type, please listen carefully. The conclusion I'm telling to you, important point. Finding lower data type and higher data type is not on the basis of sizes. Is not on the basis of sizes. Clear cut information is not on the basis of sizes. It is totally depending on how much less data we are able to store in a data type, how much more data we are able to store in a data type. On the basis of that only, lower data type and a higher data type we are able to identify. Come again, what's the point I'm telling there? Calculating lower data type and higher data type is not on the basis of the sizes. Sizes are not at all calculated. But on the basis of what lower data type and higher data types are calculated. Answer is very clear. How much volume of data we are storing in the data type? How much volume of data we are able to store in the data type? On the basis of the data volume only, we are going to identify lower size or lower data type or higher data type. Sir, again the same question. How much volume of data you are saying that? If the size is less, less volume of data only. If size is more, more volume data only. Again the same sizes are coming into the picture or not? Now still I am saying that no, not on the basis of sizes care. No, even if you ask this question there, still I have some other reason. No, that lower data type and higher data type we are going to be calculated on the basis of the how much less data we are storing in a data type, how much more data we are able to store in a particular data type. On the basis of this only we are able to calculate. How, sir? What is that? What is the criteria for that? I will give one example to you, through that we can understand clearly. All of you ready now? All of you understand this point here? I will give one example, through that we are able to understand it clearly. All of you are getting clarity? Now listen carefully that example. For example, we have two classrooms. Two classrooms. Classroom A, classroom B. Is that okay? Two classrooms. Classroom A and classroom B. In classroom A, 25 benches are available. In classroom B, 50 benches are available. Benches, not chairs, no, benches. In classroom A, 25 benches are available. In classroom B, 50 benches are available. Okay, listen carefully. Tell me, what is the size of the classroom A? 25. What is the size of the classroom B? 50. Got it or not? Listen carefully. In classroom A, the sitting arrangement will be per bench 3 members. In classroom A, per bench 3 members. How much maximum we are able to accommodate in classroom A? 75 members we can accommodate in classroom A. Got my point or not? Coming to the classroom B. In classroom B, how many benches are available? 50 benches are available. Am I right or not? Here the sitting capacity is what there? Per bench 1 member. Per bench 1 member. There is a capability. There is a capacity of the bench. Per bench 1 member. How many members max we can accommodate here? 50 members can. But classroom here number of benches are lesser. But more data we can accommodate or not? In the case of this classroom B, number of benches are more, but still we can accommodate less data or not? Now tell me, which classroom is a bigger classroom and which classroom is a smaller classroom? No. Classroom A is what there? Bigger on the base of the volume of the data what we represented. Classroom B is what there? Small classroom on the base of the volume of the data what we represented, but not on the basis of the benches count, not on the basis of the tables count. Got my point or not? That is totally depending on the how much max we accommodated in a classroom. That is a max classroom. How much less data we can accommodate. That is what their small classroom get. In that way we can understand. Similarly, each and every data type has its own data representation internally. Each and every data type has its own data representation internally. The data representation is varied from one data type to another data type. Observe carefully. Example, what I am telling there, if we take a long and a float, even long is taking 8 bytes of memory. As per its internal data representation, it able to hold less data when compared with the float. Float is taking 4 bytes of memory, even less data, less memory, but as per its internal data representation, it can hold more data. Sir, got my point or not? So that long is taking 8 bytes of memory, even it can hold less data as per its internal data representation. Float is taking 4 bytes of memory, even it can hold more data as per its internal data representation. Data representations are varied from one data type to another data type. Sir, all of you get my point or not? So now tell me, Long float, if you observe this, which one is a lower data type and which one is a higher data type? No, come on guys, which one is a lower and which one is a higher here? Long data type is what there? Lower data type, and like a float is what there? Higher data type. Now tell me, long to float is come under implicit typecasting or explicit typecasting? Come on, long to float is come under implicit typecasting or explicit typecasting? Implicit typecasting, not come under what there? Explicit typecasting. I think so you understood clearly my point, right? So now the chart is right chart or not? Definitely it is right chart only. Why? Because it was provided by Sun Microsystems, not by me. Right, sir. Now this is what exactly the meaning of like what there? Implicit typecasting. That's okay, fine. Basic awareness I'm giving there. No need to have any doubt for it. Whenever we are converting from long to float, if you think about the sizes, no, then definitely we are able to get problems. You may get confusion. That's why I'm giving the clarity on this. Identifying lower data type and a higher data type is not on the basis of sizes. Is totally on the basis of the how much data we are storing on the respective data type. From one data type to another data type, internal data representations are varied. Definitely internal data representations are varied. Observe carefully. Some data types may take more memory, but still they can hold less data. Some data types may take less memory, but still they can hold more data. That is their internal data representations. But what is that internal data representation? That is abstracted, not required for us. But only the conclusion we can identify when we compare with the long and float. No, long is lower data type and float is what there? Higher data type. Even though long is taking 8 bytes of memory, which is more when compared with the float, which is taking 4 bytes of memory. Clear to all of you know? Right, sir. That's okay, fine. Now this is the definition of like what there? Implicit typecasting. That's okay, fine. But how, sir, how we are able to perform implicit typecasting? What is the process to perform implicit typecasting? Okay, understood what is the meaning of implicit typecasting, that's okay. But in my Java applications, if I want to perform implicit typecasting, what I have to do? That means what work we have to do, what program we have to write to perform implicit typecasting. What is implicit typecasting? We understood the definition. But how I am going to perform this implicit typecasting? No. Right. For that I am telling you, now try to understand it. No. In Java applications to perform implicit typecasting. In Java applications to perform implicit typecasting, we have to assign lower data type variables to higher data type variables as per the above chart. Check it now. What is the point here we have to do? In Java applications to perform implicit typecasting, what we have to do there? We have to assign, simply we have to assign lower data type variable to higher data type variable, lower data type variable to higher data type variable, where lower data type and higher data type must be calculated as per what there? The chart, above chart. Chart we are given. There are only all possibilities of the implicit typecasting here we checked it. Right, so now this is the point here we have to understand. Let's try for this here, all of you know. Alright, sir. To perform implicit typecasting, we have to assign lower data type variable to higher data type variables. Right, sir. Example I'm telling to you, observe carefully. Byte B is equal to 10. Example, all of you guys, observe carefully. Byte B is equal to 10 into I is equal to B. Now tell me, here we have taken byte and integer. Byte and int. Between this byte and int, which data type is integer and that means which data type is lower and which data type is higher, sir? Now tell me. Byte is what there? Lower data type, and int is what there? Higher data type. Observe carefully. Right. Now observe carefully now. I'm trying to assign B variable to I variable. I'm trying to assign B variable to I variable, means that byte variable to integer variable. We assign byte variable to integer variable. Got it or not? Now understand this point clearly, all of you guys. Listen carefully. The point what I'm telling to you. When we compile the above code, especially this assignment statement, When we compile the above code, then what I'm telling there, assignment statement. Assignment statement, compiler will perform the following actions. Compiler will perform the following actions. What actions that compiler will perform there? Listen, all of you listen carefully. First of all, let me explain this. First, compiler will check right side variable is compatible with the left side variable data type or not. First, compiler will recognize right side variable data type and left side variable data type. Then it will check whether right side variable data type is compatible with the left side variable data type or not. What is the meaning of compatibility? What is the meaning of compatibility? There is a rule. In Java, all lower data types are compatible with higher data types, but all higher data types are not compatible with lower data types. So we can assign lower data types to higher data types, but we cannot assign higher data types to lower data types directly. So first of all, compiler will check whether right side variable data type is compatible with the left side variable data type or not. If right side variable data type is not compatible with the left side variable data type, no, their compiler will raise an error. Incompatible types, types, possible lossy conversion from right side variable data type to left side variable data type. What's the error message we are able to get there? Incompatible types colon possible lossy conversion from right side variable data type to left side variable data type. Some XXX data type to ABC data type. That error here we are able to get. For example, if right side variable data type is compatible with the left side variable data type, no, compiler will not raise any error. Compiler will not raise any error. Got my point or not? Now check the point here. What is the first point here I'm telling there? No, when we assign, when we compile the demo code, compiler will recognize, compiler will recognize, compiler will recognize right side variable data type and left side variable data type. Both the data types will be identified by the compiler. Right, sir. Then second step is what there? Compiler will check whether the right side variable data type is compatible with the left side variable data type or not. Compiler will check whether right side variable data type is compatible with the left side variable data type or not. If the right side variable, if the right side variable data type is compatible with the left side variable data type, then compiler will not raise any error. If the right side variable data type is, for example, is not compatible with left side variable data type, then compiler will raise an error. Compiler will raise an error like, what's the error message? No, incompatible. Of course, like what there I'm telling to you, here also be some Java related points are available. Up to Java 6 version, what message is available? Possible loss conversion, possible loss conversion from XXX type to AAA type. This is up to Java 6 version. That message is available. Possible loss conversion. Right, so right from Java 7, what we are able to get error? No, incompatible types, possible lossy conversion from XXX data type to AAA data type, or maybe possible lossy conversion. Okay, right, sir. Possible loss conversion from XXX data type to YYY data type. Java 7 incompatible types, possible lossy conversion from XXX data type to YYY data type. This type of difference is available between the Java 6 version and Java 7 version. Both we are able to get here. When it is a case, no. When it is a case here, when right side variable data type is not compatible with the left side variable data type. Answer my point here. Then, for example, fourth point here I'm telling to you, observe carefully. What is that fourth point here? If the right side variable data type is compatible with the left side variable data type, if the right side variable data type is compatible with the left side variable data type, then compiler will not raise any error. Then the compiler will not raise any error. Remember carefully, but at the same time, compiler will not perform any typecasting. Compiler will not perform any typecasting. Please remember this. Compiler responsibility in Java is what there? Just checking, just checking right side variable data type is compatible with the left side variable data type or not. Just checking, type checking, just type checking is the responsibility of the compiler. Compiler is nowhere responsible for typecasting. Compiler is not performing typecasting. Compiler is responsible for only type checking. Yes, sir. Got my point or not? Right, sir. So if the right side variable data type is compatible with the left side variable data type, then compiler will not raise any error. But at the same time, compiler will not perform any typecasting. Yes, sir. Got it or not? Then one small note kind of point here I'm telling to you. Observe carefully. In Java, all lower data types are compatible with higher data types. So we can assign lower data type variables to higher data type variables. Higher data type variables. But what is that another point I'm telling you? No, all higher data types are not compatible with lower data types. So we are unable to assign. We cannot assign. We are unable to assign higher data type variables to lower data type variables. Points are very much clear. Try to understand. No, right. In the above steps, I said to you. In the above steps, we are saying that compiler will compare. Compiler will check whether right side data type is compatible with the left side variable data type or not. What is the meaning of that compatibility? No, I'm giving in the point of that note. What is the note here? In Java, all lower data types are compatible with the higher data types. So we can assign lower data type variables to higher data type variables. But all higher data types are not compatible with what their lower data types. So we cannot assign higher data type variables to lower data type variables directly. Okay, this is one point here we have to understand. And another small note here I'm telling to you. What is this note now? Please remember this point here. Another note here, what I'm telling to you. In Java, listen carefully. Compiler is responsible for only type checking, not responsible for typecasting. Yes, sir. Got my point or not? In Java, compiler is responsible for what their type checking, not responsible for what their typecasting. But who is responsible for typecasting? No. Who is responsible for typecasting here? In Java, only JVM is responsible for typecasting. Only JVM is responsible for what their typecasting. No other component is responsible for typecasting. Only JVM is responsible for typecasting. Is that got it or not? So this is what exactly the story when we compile the above program, what we are getting. This is about what the compilation I'm telling them. Just at compilation, what's going to be happen? That information I set you. Am I right or not? No response, guys. See, if you understand this much of knowledge, no, then only we can understand the problems easily. This is a domain knowledge. This is a basic awareness, basics. If you know these many basics, no, then only we can solve the problems easily. But in general, what people are doing there every day, people are hurry. People are hurry about the programming. No, directly when sir is going to, when faculty is going to give that questions, no, they are waiting for that questions only. But without having knowledge, how we can use solve the problems? Then? If you know this much of knowledge, then we can solve any type of problem. You are in a position to solve any type of problem. That is a basic nature of the theory. If we don't know this much of theory, not possible to solve the problems. Understand here? So here my philosophy is what there. I have to make you all of you to understand the total theory. On the top of the theory problems I'm going to give, the problems will be very much simple. In the written test, all this knowledge is might be useful for you. So that's why then we have to understand all the points. Moreover, I'm typing each and every point for the sake of you. Try to read this content here. You can read this content. Already given the links to you. We can read this content at any location, wherever you are. If internet is available, we can read the content. I'm requesting to everybody before come for the next class every day. Previous class notes you have to study, we have to read. Then we are able to understand the content. Even examples also I'm going to be provided there in the document. So this document is almost all Bible for you. Don't neglect this. At the same time, video support I'm giving there. All of you are getting videos now. All of you are getting access of these videos now. Right? You must get. That is a default service. Right, sir? Now let's move on to the one more point. Last point is remaining here. Let me complete the point now. All right, sir. The next point is like what there. When we execute the above statement, above code in the sense like what there, assignment statement, then JVM will perform the following actions. What JVM is able to perform, sir? Observe carefully. Observe carefully. Nothing. JVM will not go for again checking process. The type checking could be done by whom? Compiler. Type checking could be done by whom? Compiler. But what JVM will do, no? Simply JVM will perform typecast. Understand it, no? What JVM is able to do there? JVM will convert right side variable data type to left side variable data type internally. That is not shown to us explicitly. Internally, JVM first it will convert the type right side variable data type to left side variable data type. After that, JVM will assign data from right side variable to left side variable. Yes, sir. Got my point or not? So the point is like what there, what JVM is able to do there internally. Point number one, JVM will convert convert the right side variable data type to left side variable data type internally, or we may call it as what there, or implicitly, internally or implicitly. So this is called as what there, implicit typecasting. Implicit typecasting. This is the meaning of casting. Just a type conversion is performed by JVM internally. Then after that, what is the second point? You know, after completion of this type conversion, JVM will copy the value from right side variable to left side variable. JVM will copy the value from the right side variable to left side variable. Just value copy. Two actions are performed by JVM. What are the two actions? No, type casting. Second one is what there, copy the value from right side variable to left side variable. These two things are performed by JVM. But what compiler will perform there? Compiler will perform only one action. What is that action here? No, type checking. Right side variable type is compatible with the left side variable type or not. If right side variable type is not compatible with the left side variable type, no, compilation error will come. What errors here we are able to get? No, in Java 6 version, possible loss of conversion from one data type to another data type. That error here we are able to get. In the case of like what there, in the case of compilation, possible loss of conversion. But in the case of Java 7, what error we are getting there? Incompatible types, possible lossy conversion from XXX data type to YYY data type. Right, sir. If right side variable data type is compatible with the left side variable data type, no, compiler will not raise any error. But at the same time, compiler will not perform any typecasting. Why? Because in Java, compiler is not responsible for typecasting. Compiler is responsible for only type checking. But who is responsible for typecasting in Java? JVM is responsible for typecasting. Understand my point here? When we execute the same program, what JVM is able to do now? What JVM is able to perform two actions. What are the two actions? No, first one is converting right side variable data type to left side variable data type. Then after that, copy the value from right side variable to left side variable. This is what exactly the meaning of like what there typecasting, which is done by JVM. Right. So now this is what exactly the actions here we are understanding about this typecasting, and as well as what their type conversions, whatever it may be, type checking and typecasting both are completed. But anyway, the remaining part is what there we have to do some examples. We have to do some examples. That examples I'll discuss in the right. That examples you are going to discuss in like what there, and tomorrow. Then tomorrow's total examples. Try to bring notes as no. Then I'm going to give so many exercises there. Every day we have to bring notes, sir. I'm going to give some exercise inside the classes now until we are getting the clarity, right? But don't neglect this. I'm requesting to everybody. I'm requesting to everybody. Try to then watch this video. Try to watch this video, and as well as like what is this class, so that we are able to get more clarity on this. This document is very very important, right? So now this is a classroom notes URL. This is a classroom notes URL. Then try to use it. I think all of you are having this URL, right? To access this classroom notes now, this is a URL. If you click on it, automatically you are able to get a folder access now. There's some document is available. Just click on it. You are able to see this total document now, right? That's all, guys. That's all for today. Then we'll see the remaining part on tomorrow. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Arey, then videos link are not provided by me. Videos are provided by admin people. When your registration is confirmed, then automatically admin people will give access for you. I think now almost all the members are getting that videos access now. Muhammad Ibrahim. Then please contact with the admin people there. Then whatever the number I'm giving to you, 1 minute, I'll give one number there to this number. Then send your details. Then our admin people will send that one. So this number. Then please send some message to this number with your details now, along with your pay slip also. Then our people will send that access link to you directly. Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Huh. What is it? No, no, no. The possibility of conversion, compatible. For example I'm telling you, you want to learn Java, at least you should be graduate. For example, if you're a 10th class student, no, not possible. You're not compatible for this. If you're the graduate, then you're eligible. In other words, I can say that what their eligibility. That's the meaning of compatibility.
Will not open. Once again, take this. Okay, then that's okay. But take this link and also can open it. Because then we are updating in the same location. On my phone. Not like this. And use this. Use this. Type it. Open browser. Browser. Open browser. Type it. HTTPS:// HTTPS:// teenageurl.com